test driving everything and anything with two wheels to help you find your next bike. I'm Sean Kerr, and this is Srkcycles. What's up, guys? I'm Sean from Srkcycles.com, and we are looking at a 2018 Harley-Davidson Fat Bob with the 114 engine in it. Now, it's crazy that this is actually the fourth, maybe the fifth most hated Harley-Davidson out there, behind the Rocker, the Streets, the V-Rod, and then behind the FXDR. Why do people hate this bike so much? It's this right here. I don't know why, but everyone hates this. I think this is the coolest part about this whole bike is this awesome LED light. For some reason, people hate it. Look, it says Harley-Davidson right in there. It's pretty cool. You have an awesome looking bike with a humongous engine, with a 114 cubic inch motor. That's bigger than what the CVO used to be a couple years ago. It's just it's a recipe for fun. I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know why everyone hates it. Now, what Harley was trying to do is they were trying to tap into a slightly different market maybe, and this bike almost has some similarities with these tires. You notice the tires are different than like a normal, you know, Harley, the big fat tires, and they're kind of more a little knobby, kind of like an adventure bike. Now, obviously, it's not an adventure bike, but it's kind of in that same theme, in that same vein as like a BMW R9T, and I love it. You know, you got the higher up exhaust that comes back here instead of going down low. The seat with its own little built-in cowl because the thing moves, so this keeps you nice in your seat. It even says Harley-Davidson right there on the wheels, which I think is sweet looking. And I like the gold exhaust. I think it's just a cool bike. Now, in this year, they went with a more narrower tank. The tanks used to be a little wider. They brought the tanks in a little bit more narrow, and you've got the single gauge. You also notice that there used to be that the turn key that you can lock and everything right here. Well, they did away with that. So the way you turn the bike on, as long as the proximity key is in your pocket or somewhere on the bike, you just press the ignition key. That's what fires everything up. That brings your gauges, and then you just press the start button. So you have no turn key and nothing to lock anymore. Yeah, I don't know what people are complaining about. I think it's a beautiful looking bike. It's also rocking four spark plugs, 2 spark plugs per cylinder. Let's go take it for a spin. This thing's a blast. I think it really sets into a new market. All right, guys, before we take it for a spin, let's do the words of wisdom. Deuteronomy 6:5, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Amen. I've not ridden one of these in, I don't know, year and a half. The only time I had a chance to ride one of these with the 114 in it was at Orlando, Harley-Davidson of Orlando, I think. For those of you who don't know, that's Blockhead's territory. I was crouching on his turf. I love the way these drag bars feel. They're kind of bent back to me. This bike has only 301 miles on it. I won't put more than probably 2 miles on this thing. It pulls. For a cruiser Harley-Davidson like this thing is mean. That 114 has a nice smooth rumble to it. You know it's not like a 4 or a flat 6 or something like that, but it still has that rumble, but it feels very it does feel refined. This bike just begs to go fast. It just wants to keep on going faster. Brakes feel nice and tight. And I know a lot of people are hating on Harley-Davidsons, and a lot of people only like Harley-Davidsons. I think to be in either category is just a bad move for yourself. No one else cares, but I think it's a bad move for yourself because you're missing out one way or the other. A lot of awesome bikes out there. I love the placement of the brake pedal. A lot of times brake pedals are so far up that like there's no way you could actually use it. Like most people's ankles don't bend that way, but this is perfect. I could actually sit here and just kind of, you know, ride that rear brake when I need to, and I like that. Let's show them how we do it. Let's show them how we do it in Landisville. fast and fun. I think this bike is perfect stock. I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds. You know the bike's on. You know it's a Harley Davidson. You might not know what one it is because it's a little unusual looking, but it's just it's a cool looking styling bike. And maybe if you were like, hey, I'm gonna go off on I gotta go on a little logging road because my lady friend lives in the sticks, these tires might not be that bad. These actually might be the tires you want. Let's see how this thing handles. I think Harley's taking a lot of heat because they're making a lot of changes, and I think most of those changes are good. And I think the people they're taking the heat from are the they're the die-hard old school guys, which, hey, those guys have been paying your bills. Those guys are the ones who were buying your bikes for the last couple years. But Harley's realizing that they need a bigger part of the market. They need to diversify. Now, obviously, this is, if your buddy who has a Harley, if your buddy who has this and he wants to race you in your sport bike, go race him, and you'll beat him, and he'll feel bad. You know what I mean? It's not that type of bike. It's not a racing bike. It's just the faster version of the Fat Bob. It's faster than most of the Harleys out there. It's faster than most stock Harleys out there. Probably most modified Harleys. And it's under warranty. And it's reliable. And it's fun. It doesn't leak oil, because that's an old Harley thing. Or that's a non-maintained Harley. It's funny. We sell a lot of older Harleys. 20-year-old stuff. All the ones that leak oil are always the Sportsters. It's always the cheaper Harleys. All the touring bikes, they almost never leak oil. You know why? The whole thing about Harley Davidson's leaking oil, that was from like the 70s. That was from the AMF days, where they actually leaked oil from stock. Nowadays, yeah, anything leaks oil if you don't maintain it, if you don't fix problems that come up. Man, this thing is a blast to drive. Let's take it down my little twisty road back here. It shifts through the gears nice. Now, here's a little secret that not everyone knows about. Maybe a lot of people do know about it. Man, I forget the exact year. It was somewhere around like 07, 08, where Harley switched over to throttle by wire. And I feel like they didn't tell anyone. I feel like they didn't want to make a big deal about it. And I think the same thing with like the automakers. They didn't want to make a big deal about it because some people might not like it. When you find out that it's not cable, not throttle by cable, throttle by wire, it's an electronic signal that goes through that's telling the. And I think if you were like, hey, we're going to do throttle by wire, it's all electronic, you might be like, can someone hack my bike? What if it malfunctions and gives a full throttle or something like that? And then if they tell you, oh yeah, your Ford's had throttle by wire since 2002, and you're like, oh, I've been driving that since 2002. I've been driving that for 16 years. You know what I mean? Oh, it's the most reliable system. It's crazy. I've never heard any issues with it. All right, guys, do not forget to subscribe. If you are wondering, Sean, where did you get those sick gloves, and what are so sick about them? These gloves are lined with Kevlar. That is Kevlar. That is Kevlar. These gloves are lined with Kevlar, and these are the only ones of its kind. These gloves are for sale on bikesandbeardsgear.com, or just look in the link below. Look in the link below. We'll have a link for gloves. Go check them out. They are for sale. They are awesome. They are incredibly durable. We tested these gloves hardcore. There should be a video about that coming soon. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe.